Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Adventure Starts Here podcast. This week, we played The Forgotten City, a Skyrim mod-made fully-fledged game in 2021 by developer Modern Storyteller. Please be aware that this is a full spoiler discussion. We discuss the narrative in depth, starting from the very beginning. This is the kind of game you want to go in blind for, so if you plan on playing it, definitely go do that before listening to us yap about it. All that being said, enjoy the episode. All right, so for this week we played The Forgotten City. I am the one who chose this game. The Forgotten City was originally a Skyrim mod, as far as I know, when they ported it to Unreal and made the official Steam launch. They didn't change a whole lot about the game. I think there's a couple small differences, but not enough to really mention. It's not like a La Mulana 1 versus La Mulana remake situation. It is like mostly the same game. But yeah, it was originally a Skyrim mod. I mentioned it a couple times, but I found this game like probably the vast majority of people who have played it, which is I finished Outer Wilds. I wanted to play another game like Outer Wilds, so I Google searched games like Outer Wilds, and The Forgotten City and Obra Dinn are games that showed up. So I played both of those. And I don't know, I didn't have a big thing for like an opening bit idea, but I just put, if you guys were stuck in a time loop, what's the first thing you would do? And it can be more of like a plan. It doesn't have to be like, I scratch my butt. It can be like something that you want to try to do in a time loop.
I would
Well,
blow so much shit up.
yeah, so everything I was thinking of was crime related, but I was wondering, like, do you know about the time loop in advance? Like, how much information do you have?
Well, eventually you would know about the time loop regardless.
Oh, so you're going in blind at first? Like, you just don't know shit? You don't even know that you're in the loop?
I mean,
Well,
like
then
eventually,
it's
like
just
I'm
a
thinking,
day.
yeah, I'm thinking it's like a Forgotten City situation where it's not technically a time loop like it is, but like, you know, you're gonna have a way to go back in time from a certain point. You have an unlimited save scum for your life at
Okay,
one point.
okay, it is it dexterity related like it is in Forgotten City.
Let's say no.
Oh god. Basically, if you just like every crime, and I know that's kind of fucked up to say, but when you essentially remove
Jesus
consequence from life,
Christ.
you kind of remove
Yeah.
morality, right? Like that's just
Every
I
crime.
know I know it's fucked
Anyone
up, but
anyone who says that they would not become like that they would not be doing some like Joseph Goebbels Nazi shit within like a year or two is lying to themselves. Let's be real. Everyone would start doing some real fucked up shit because you'd probably start going crazy.
I mean, I
That
think
part's probably true.
I just do the same thing that I normally do every day, except I don't age. So that's GG. Just keep playing video games. Just play a
Yeah.
roguelike, because then your life is like a roguelike, you know? And I don't have to become fucking Hitler like you psychopaths.
Every day you're gonna have the same interaction with Madeline and us and everyone else, and eventually you are gonna like really start losing your shit, and that's when you're gonna be like, you know what?
Mm.
What would it be like if I just shot a fire arrow into my neighbor's house?
I mean, you're not wrong in that sense, but also I think the scale of how you're thinking is a little bit low. Like, think of how much money you have in your bank account right now, or whatever, like in your 401k that you could just cash out quickly. Like, all of that is just unlimited money now, assuming it can last you like a day. So like you could get a last minute plane ticket to fucking Sweden, go to the Alps, and then at the end of the time loop you get ported back and have all your money back, you
Well,
know?
it
yeah,
does. I mean, it matters how long the loop is. I mean, if I got like a day, like when I wake up at like 6 a.m. until midnight or whatever, that is pretty limiting on the amount of shit I can do. But if I've got like a week, yeah, that's a different story.
I don't know. Assuming you don't know how you get out of the time loop, I ain't committing no crimes, because what if that's the one that's not the loop? Fucking
yeah, but the problem
psychopaths.
is eventually you'll find out that you're in a loop, and then that's like around like loop 6,000. That's when you start having the thoughts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then loop 6000 is now reality, and now you're going to jail for war crimes.
You are fucking lying to yourself if you think that living the same day for like the 14,670th time in a row, you're just gonna like wake up and be like, huh, what's the game du jour? What am I gonna play? No, you are like wondering what the insides of your neighbor's outsides look like, and you're gonna make that happen.
I'm buying a lottery ticket every day, and then I'm gaming, and then eventually, when the loop breaks, I'm rich.
Okay, here's the problem. I want to remind Ben and Thomas that the question was the first thing you would do in a time loop.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
that means you know that there is a loop then.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, like it's like you experience the day once, and you're on the second day, and you know you're in a time loop.
Probably still a crime. Maybe a
Yeah.
minor crime, but something
Oh
that
my
I
God.
normally wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Ben and the
Yeah.
Purge would be wild.
Oh yeah.
I think Ben and I are just being truthful with ourselves. Like, Ben is right. Like, once you strip away consequences from life, like, people are gonna do some crazy shit.
Yeah,
And
but then you get out of the time loop, and
I'm
God
not
is
so I don't think so highly of myself that I'd be like, I would just sit at home and drink wine with my wife. No, I would be blowing up houses just to see what it looks like.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why me and Seth are saying you guys are psychopaths, or at least I'm saying it. I think
Yeah,
Seth
that's
is
why I'm
saying it.
saying you're just lying to yourself.
I mean, I would do
I'm
some
too
crazy
afraid of
shit,
consequence regardless. Like, what if it's just fucking Prince Gabriel or Peter Gabriel, whatever the fuck, the guy, St. Peter Gabriel, who guards fucking heaven, and he's like, well, this guy's a fucking piece of shit, send him to hell. What if it's
Yeah,
a
but we're
heaven
never
test?
going there because we're in the loop.
Exactly.
But what if it's a heaven test? What if that's the point? What if they're putting you, what if St. Peter...
Every human would fail that. Every human on Earth would fail
Well,
that.
there you go. Then it's just like
I
this
mean,
game. It's the
I'm
golden
also-
rule personified.
I'm also kind of assuming I would get out of the loop eventually, and I don't want to like traumatize by knowing what it's like to dismember my partner. You know?
I mean,
Yeah.
like, depending on how long you are stuck in that loop, like, if you're stuck in the loop for, like, honestly, I think even a year, by the end of a year, you would have gone crazy. By, like, a month, you might have started going maybe a little Looney Tunes, but you'd still probably hang on to your faculties, more or less. A week, you're fine. Any longer than a year, you're going crazy. Period.
I think if you as a person can grow as, like, if you like keep the experiences, I think that's literally like utopia for most people, right? Because the resource that people care about the most is time.
No! That's like a horror movie.
I don't know. I think it'd be fucking sick.
Waking up to the same day every day. Every day is the same day.
You're immortal now, yeah.
Yeah, but you can do different things. Like I could.
Only you can affect the world, and think about how much you can affect the world. You yourself as a human being. What can you do?
I think Tom's projecting big time. I would just live like a normal life, and then the only thing my environment doesn't change, but I keep changing.
Yeah, I would just like make a little like vacation to every city that's within like 4 hours of me.
So what? You're gonna go to like Spencer, Indiana, and be like, "This is great. I had an awesome time."
You can go to Chicago.
I mean, there's Chicago. Like that's got a lot of shit you can do it right there. There's a couple places in Ohio, Michigan.
Except how much do you think's going on in Chicago on like a Tuesday night in December until eventually there's nothing left to do? Same thing with Cincinnati, same thing with like Columbus, same thing with like Louisville. Like, you're gonna run out of shit to do that's interesting, and you're gonna have to create your own entertainment, and that's gonna be crime.
It'll definitely happen eventually. I don't know, a month, man. Like I've had pretty long vacate. Like when I got unemployed and every day felt like the same, I wasn't committing crimes. I don't know.
Because every day was different. Because you weren't waking up to the same day every day.
I'll compromise. I will just do a minor crime like stealing.
Do a non-violent crime.
I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna be like performing fucking autopsies in the streets or some shit. That's like year 5 of like my mind is completely gone. I just think you guys are fucking insane if you think that you would stay sane after being stuck in a time loop for like 6 months. No way. There's no way. You think way too highly of yourselves if you think that's true.
It's immortality. I'm down.
I mean, there's certain things that would definitely bother me, like on the like 15th go around of Cass saying the exact same thing when she got home that day. Yeah, that would probably start to
you would walk in the door and you would hold up your hand and you'd be like, shut the fuck up, I don't want to hear it again, because you'd be like mad. And
but you can manipulate it. Like, you can manipulate it. I can like.
Oh yeah, you're not a
'cause
psychopath.
No, I'm saying like she's at work, so I like go to work and I'm like, hey babe, you got to come with me now. Let's go do some shit. Like you can still change it up.
You guys are going crazy after 6 months, easily. Not
I think
close.
it's immortality. I think I just do the same thing I normally do.
But after a few years, every human being, if they were stuck in a time loop, they would turn into some form of Hitler.
Which really makes you think when you play games like this or Outer Wilds or to a lesser extent Oberdin, like what is the fucking mental on these people that you can jump into this ancient Roman, Greek, whatever city and be stuck in this time loop and be chill and joke about memes all the time? Like
Well,
how strong is the mental of these people?
So the one guy that was aware that he was in loop that wasn't you killed himself. So,
Thank you.
I mean,
Proof in the pudding.
Yeah, Al's a pussy. When I played this game,
Al?
I was like, this is the only pussy in the game.
No one's talking about Al, bro. We're talking about the fucking guy that has his daughter chained up in a fucking sewer.
Oh, I was talking about Al.
He was talking about Al.
Yeah, the fucking guy that was accused, or rather is the perpetrator of the central crime, is the other one that's aware he's in a time loop.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, and he's a psycho. Good point. I see what you're saying, Thomas.
He is a psycho.
Point me? Thank you very much.
What do you mean point you? Yeah, you and Sentius are alike. Sure.
Thomas is as much of a psychopath as Sentius.
Yeah.
Anyway. So like when it comes to the setting of this game of just like stumbling upon a fucking Indiana Jones lost city and like meeting all of these like long forgotten people, like disregarding the future plot points of it being the underworld and stuff, how did you guys feel about the setting of this game and with the golden rule to kind of all tie it together? Because I feel like when I was first reading about this game, the idea of the golden rule and like what it meant in the game was very appealing to me. So how did you guys feel?
Wait, are you talking about like the physical setting or like the plot setting?
Less about the plot, more physical, but I mean the golden rule is still an important component to the setting.
My first reaction to it was kind of like, and this is gonna sound kind of weird, but remember that game we tashed earlier this year, the Leap Year? When you boot that game up and you jump for the first time, that's how I felt a little bit when I pressed A on the prompt that said steal some gold. That's how I felt. I felt like how I felt when I played Leap Year was like, oh shit, that's what happens.
Did you guys have any like funny / weird examples of breaking the golden rule in a way that you didn't expect, other than it like being your first time like that, I guess?
No, after the first time, I was very calculated.
I was surprised at how like few times I managed to break the rule while thinking I was going to. I mean, I guess nothing specific comes to mind, but like the stuff that will break it seems really obvious. If there's like red text that says you're gonna steal some shit, yeah, that's gonna break it. If I shoot my golden arrow at somebody, yeah, that's gonna break it. But like outside of that, it seemed pretty hard to do it.
I think one of the ones that surprised me that it was like a plot element my very first time playing was just that like if you go to the vote ASAP, that will like immediately trigger the golden rule because of what happens there. That was kind of surprising to me.
I never did that. What happens when you do that?
Malleolus condemns Sentius to death, and I don't exactly remember why it breaks the golden rule. It's because they're breaking some kind of like Roman law or statute. He ignores I forget the role of the like priestess that's there, but she's like, no, I bar you from doing this based on my role as a priestess, and he's like, no, I'm gonna have Gladiator Man kill him anyway.
Huh, I never saw that.
So
yeah,
was that
I saw
like
that too. I thought it was maybe like some violence that I didn't see right before it happens, but I guess it really was just ignoring the law, I guess.
Yeah, because he never actually kills Sentius, otherwise it, time loop would be fucked. So it's just ignoring what the priestess says.
So that's like the true crime then, right? That like Sentius wants you to look into?
I think that's actually ambiguous. It could be any of the things. It could even be fucking Dooley, which pissed me off so bad I was
that
looking
one was
into
so
eugenics.
I love that one so much. Where you get him out and then like 2 seconds later the golden
It's
rule's broken and you're
fucking
like, what
immediately.
the fuck?
Yeah,
I even watched him do it. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah. I love that
Wait,
part.
what happens there? I don't remember.
He oh my fucking god. This so when you free him, he like walks right out of the cage and he gets distracted by like a golden vase and he stares at it like, "Oh, what happens if I take it?" And I just like when I heard that voice, I was like, I just stood there and I just waited. I just fucking waited.
Yeah, so
Oh
I guess that's
shit.
part of the like it is ambiguous,
Oh
but
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
also a point of the broader narrative where like all of them are gonna fucking break it. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm struggling to remember some of the names. What's the asshole merchant guy that
Decius.
locks? Yeah, like Decius is probably gonna break it in one way or another. Rufius is gonna break it. Like all of them are gonna break it, whether it's shown or not. They're all, breaking it one way or another.
Yeah, and I actually kind of liked how systematic and ambiguous it was, because right after Dooley does break it, your quest gets up. One of like the main quests gets updated that says you could report Dooley to Sentius at the
Yeah.
beginning of the next loop.
Did you do that?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I was
wow.
very calculated, and I tried to beat the game in as little loops as possible, which is why Dooley pissed me off, because I thought I built like the perfect loop where I have unlimited free time to do all the things, and then Dooley. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's kind of
Awesome.
interesting because in both of my playthroughs, my original one and this one, every time that I was like, going to confront Pluto, the like getting Galerius nominated or voted in is always the last thing I would do. Like that's the thing I would do, and then I would go and finish the game right there. So I never knew that the golden rule gets broken immediately. That's really funny.
Yeah, what are like the ways that like the other characters can even break the rule? Because I feel like I never really saw it got broken outside of Dooley doing that, like without me performing the action.
You'd have to provoke them, like the Egyptian dude. I'm sure you could get him
Yeah,
to shoot you, which would
Yeah.
probably break the
exactly.
rule.
Yep. I think
I
unprovoked. I think
seem
it's only what Seth said earlier. I think everything else is like a reaction to you doing something and them getting mad and then they break the rule.
Yeah, like I'm not sure how much is actually shown. Like even the like the Rufius example, or Decius, I don't think you can actually get them to break it as far as I know. It's just that the implication is that they, among others, will break it.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like the assassin shows up, he can break it if you just let him walk around.
Oh yeah, that guy too. Of
Oh,
course,
true.
Yeah. I guess the question about like how I felt about the setting, I guess from like a more design oriented POV, I actually like the way that the map is constructed in this game because it almost felt, this might be like a weird comparison, but it almost felt like the Dark Souls 1 map where there's like a lot of verticality and there's a lot of like weird windy twisty shit. Like even by the end of the game, I felt like I was still kind of struggling to navigate my way around just because the map's fucking confusing. Um, I had like a decent handle on it by the literal end of the game, but I felt like some of that like confusingness with the way that the map is designed was actually kind of enjoyable in a way because like inevitably when the loop did end and I had to run, it was like, oh fuck, where am I supposed to go again?
The zip lines and shit were cool.
Yeah, I did like the interconnectedness. Like there were like certain tunnels and pathways that you can unlock to, or like when you got the golden bow, you can freeze those like vines, whatever, to
Yeah.
climb the places you normally couldn't get to, and you could just do that at the beginning of every loop instead of having to like actually do the actual normal exploration.
Mm-hmm.
In that,
Yeah,
in a
stuff
weird
like that was
way,
cool.
I have a weird take, a very Ben take, in that this game was like a pseudo like a incremental, especially with Galerius, where like you do your procedure, your rebirths, and Galerius is like that mechanic.
That's funny.
Oh, you just
That's
made me
cute.
want to like write up a concept for an idle game that's like a time loop situation. I like
Yeah,
that. Yeah, no, I agree with both of the things you guys said. The Dark Souls 1 example, I didn't want to say it, but I actually did feel kind of similarly in a different way, like almost more of like an Elden Ring, but it is in Dark Souls 1 as well. Like how the Temple of Pluto, like you can see it from pretty much anywhere, and it's always that thing in the distance. And if you don't know what it is, it's like, oh, what's that? I'm going to go explore that. I think this game evokes that feeling, obviously on a very small scale, but it is very cool. And yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys about the Galerius as a game mechanic thing, because I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't like about time loop mechanics like Outer Wilds or Majora's Mask, where it feels like you have to do like the same thing over and over and over again, haha, like you're in a time loop. But I really, at least when I first played, I really liked the idea of Galerius being the guy that does all your fucking choring for you while you go do other stuff. I always thought that was a pretty good gamified mechanic to remedy the like main issue people would have with time loop mechanics.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah. I know, I agree. I think they found, because like I remember doing like the first loop. Once it loops, you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to fucking do all that shit again, and then you just tell him to do it. And I was like, ooh, this is way better. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I wish the like actual underlying like system mechanic was a little less like Skyrim moddy, but it does like work in a vacuum, like as far as what you guys are saying, where it alleviates some of that like repetitive issue that it could take. I just hated having to fucking wait for him to like run around everywhere.
That
Yep.
didn't bother me because I only had to do it one time. Because I was very like particular with how I was doing my loops, and so I just wanted to make sure that like I could get as much done as possible. So I only had to wait for him like one time with like all the different when I had like 3 different chores for him to do.
Yeah, I guess for me the issue was a bit more pronounced because I had already played the game, so like I knew what I was doing. So a lot of those rebirths just ended up being waiting for Galerius, which was pretty annoying. But that's not really fair to the game itself, since that was the second playthrough for me.
I have a little hot take maybe. I think this game would have been better if you couldn't save and you just had to like just live with it, and you just have to run back and get teleported back in the past every time.
That's funny because I feel like if it did that, you would hate this game.
I don't know about that. Like because one problem that I have with games is that I'm a serial save scummer, and I recognize that I'm willingly doing it, and it makes me unhappy.
So if you don't have the ability, then you
Yeah, then
are
I play like
upset
Dark
with
Souls.
yourself. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess it does kind of remove the like wonder feeling where it's like, I wonder what happens if I take this 2,000 gold that's in this chest. Hold on, let me save before I do this. Oh, I broke the golden rule. Okay, I'm gonna load my save.
There are definitely certain points where it would piss me off, like if you're deep in like the like combat areas or the place where that Egyptian dude goes and you do it, that would probably suck.
Right.
But even then, I still feel like it would be a better game, like objectively, even though I don't install it.
I think they would have to change a couple things. Like I think that you would have to make it less trial and error, because a lot of those conversations felt like trial and error, especially with like the final one. So like if every fucking time I had to fucking like just go back and have to keep talking to this asshole and like reset and everything, it'd be a real like annoying experience. And the underground one too. So I think they would have to kind of change some designs, but I think it could work. It would definitely introduce like a level of friction that kind of like Paradise Killer was going for.
Yeah, I mean, if considering that Ben is the only one of us that hasn't played Outer Wilds, it makes me want to recommend Outer Wilds as a game we play, because Outer Wilds is the same situation where you're in a time loop, and yeah, it doesn't have any kind of save mechanics like this game does. You just kind of have to live with it. On the subject of the combat sections, that being the palace and like underneath the city, did those sections work for you guys? Did you like it? It felt like the most Skyrim part of the game to me, for better or
Oh,
worse.
it was very stealth archer coded, which made me laugh. They just basically just made creation engine at home. They had every other option to like do anything else, but they were like, we really just want to be Skyrim for better or for worse. And I don't know. I'd never really play a stealth archer in any Elder Scrolls, because it combines two of the things that I hate about real-time combat systems, which is stealth and aiming. Normally, when I play those games, I always play a mage, and I always pick like the lightning spells so I could be like the why can't the bad guy from Star Wars guy? Oh my god, I can't think of his name.
Emperor
The
Palpatine,
do it guy. Yeah, Palpatine.
Do it.
Yeah. So that being said, like I'm not. I wouldn't say that I'm a fan of the combat in this game, but I think it was necessary. Just one thing that I would personally change is that I would just make it so that one arrow kills instead of two, and that's it, really.
I think everything that this game, like all of the DNA strands that survived this game going from a Skyrim mod to a standalone game, made this game worse. Literally every single one of them. Any sort of combat included.
Yeah, I think the combat part is the weakest part of the game by like a significant margin, personally.
Yeah, I agree, but I think that it needs to be there or something that serves its function.
Personally, I don't think so.
I think the problem, at least for me, is how much of it there is in those sections.
Yeah,
like if it was spread out a little bit more, it would be better. But I also think, like in the palace, for example, turning it into like puzzle mechanics to avoid combat is way better than underneath the city where it's just straight combat throughout. I think the palace is way better than under the city.
Wait, under the city? Why do I not remember there being that much combat there? Am I crazy?
There isn't a lot,
you have
but
to shoot. It's not like the palace though. I wouldn't call that like a combat section. I think there was just like a dude or two down there.
Yeah, like the reason I'm saying that I like the palace better is because most of the combat in there can be reduced to like shooting the curtains to lock them in the room or shooting the algae in the pond to freeze all of them. But if you don't do that and now they're out of the water and they're all attacking you and there's like 7 of them and maybe you only have 7 arrows, it's like, oh, this fucking sucks.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of like goofy shit. Like there's those notes that are in there, the like voice acted notes from what's her name, Navia, something like that. And yeah, I would like run through a room and I would lock the door behind me because there's like 10 fucking goobers, like clockwork dudes chasing me. And then something on my HUD would show like, there's a note here. I'd be like, fuck, how am I going to get that now? And I would have to like go into the room from above, drop down, grab the note, kite around, run back through the door, hope I don't die, because like those things will kill you really quick actually, and then just keep moseying on. And I just fucking ran past it all.
It's probably better to run, honestly. Like shooting them was extremely boring and like repetitive, and I wish I didn't have to. Running would have been better, I think.
It sounds like this game needed a stamina system.
God no. God no.
But yeah, I mean, like I said though, I think everything that this game like carried over from Skyrim was awful. Like I really hated the way that the camera worked, you know, like you talk to someone and they have to like turn around to talk to you.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the
Oh sure, yeah.
camera like centers on their face and shit. Like of all the things to like, I assume I have no idea what the development cycle for this game was like, but I mean it's what? It's Unreal, is it Unreal 4? Is that what they made
I
this
think
in?
so.
Why
Sounds
did they
right.
just like recreate really shitty parts from a fucking 10-year-old game? I don't. What was the thought process there?
They just really wanted to wear their inspiration on their sleeve, and it's just like I actually have like a whole fucking diatribe about the shoddy craftsmanship of the like game development portion of this game, but I think I should just keep it to myself because I know that earlier on in Tash we talked about how we shouldn't like just kind of like dump on the developers, and that's all it would be doing because it's all like my criticisms, like all the under the hood implementations.
Suddenly, I was kind of worried at the start of this that my score for you is going to be way off, but I put you at a pretty low score for the reason you just described, so I
Really?
feel more validated now.
I don't think it's going to be that low because it's a 3-person team. I think he's still going to be banned out.
Here's the thing. I was debating whether I should say this at the beginning of this episode or not. A couple episodes ago, I think Seth, you asked us like, regardless of the awards, what was the best game that you played this year? And I think that this is the best game I played this year.
What?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm so far off. What the hell?
What the fuck?
Yeah, I fucking love this game.
Holy shit! I did not expect. What the fuck?
I did not think you would like this more than Paradise Killer because I think this game doesn't have like the cool game feel adventure game like dopamine loop.
It's different.
Paradise Killer
I like
has.
both of them for different reasons.
Yeah, exactly. As you should. But I thought you would like kind of the gamification, because this kind of just feels like your Inspector Gadget, where that kind of felt like a game without the Inspector Gadget
Yeah,
elements.
because it's funny because I actually fucking hated this game like a lot.
Damn. I guess
Yeah.
am I the only one that liked this game?
Oh, I like
I
it.
mean,
I
like
assume
that.
I assumed everyone liked it except me.
I mean,
that's fair.
like if you really pressed me when I first played it might have been like a top fiver when I first played it. It has not aged well, especially when you compare it to the other games people recommend, like Outer Wilds and Oberdin. But no, I love this game the first time I played it, and I think there's still like again, like I love my time loop shit. I think there's still a lot of really cool creativity that this game utilizes, like. I just think like everything surrounding Galerius is so elegant other than the wait time. Like the fact just what we already talked about with the gamification where he does all your chores for you, but that is also a thing you need to do and like solve everyone's problems so that they'll vote for Galerius when you oust Malleolus, and that's like the main thing that you need to do. I think all of that is like super elegant, super good for like time loop media. And I was just like imagining Galerius is like, oh, well, this person just told me to do all this shit, but I guess I'm voted in now.
I'm still reeling for Ben saying that this is the best game that he played this year.
I
That's
know.
crazy to me.
I know.
I mean, it's
Damn.
awesome, but it's not what I expected even a little bit.
Same. So get into that then. What did you like so much about it? What elevates this above Expedition 33, for example?
I just want to know why you like it more than Paradise Killer first. We don't even need to go to the crazy ones.
I guess I don't know if I like it more than Paradise Killer. I think I kind of like it equally. I don't know. I just thought it was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like every time I experienced something new in this game, I just thought about like what the developers had to do to come up with these ideas. It's like, what the fuck? This is like some madness shit. I just really loved it.
I mean, I agree. I think this game, doesn't really have many things that you can point to of like, this part is excellent. I just think kind of it's a lot of cool ideas put into like one game.
Yeah, I think this is like the definition of what a maybe not necessarily what a good game is, but what a good mod is, just from the perspective of like
Oh, for sure.
like these people had probably not worked on like anything game related before they made the mod for Skyrim, and they probably poured their fucking hearts and souls into it, and it really shows. I think.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to put it for sure. It definitely feels like a mod, like a natural progression for like mod creators and shit. I think that's perfect.
Well, in that sense, though, like I don't know what because Jordan, I think you were asking some questions about the quest log of the game, and we were kind of talking about it in the Discord chat. I don't know how it was implemented in the original game, but I think it's actually like a really good system in this game. Like I feel like it's hard to track stuff in games like this, especially like important things that you need to do, but the quest log does a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, I think this game is a really good example of I don't like how this game does quest logs generally. I don't like that in games because it's a very triple A style of like, you can't fuck anything up. You don't have to put anything together yourself. It does it all for you. But with that being said, I think the way that they implemented it is like perfect, and I think that it's how it should be in this game. And yeah, it's a system that I don't agree with, but I think they did so well that I can't say I would want to change it.
What
Why?
exactly was it? Yeah, what was it about it in this game that made it better than other games?
It's because in this game, it's kind of like, so it's felt really handholdy in like Ubisoft games and stuff like that, where it's just like, hey, go here, here's your next objective and things like that. But if you had to keep track of all of that for yourself in this game, and like you wouldn't really know like, hey, what's my next objective, and you had to do all that, it would feel really like tedious and off. Like, I think that they would have to do like massive redesigns to all the other systems if they didn't have something that was as handholdy as it was. And I think the way that you would progress everything was interesting enough that having to keep track of that stuff wouldn't have been like a positive in a game like Outer Wilds or in like La Milana.
Yeah, see, that's interesting because I was thinking that as you were describing it, where in Outer Wilds, it's literally just go wherever you want, figure some stuff out, and like you have to be the one to put all of it together. This game definitely holds your hand a little bit more,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make the mistake like you're saying with AAA games where it's like go here, do this. It's like find a way into the upper cistern, and you just kind of have to figure out how to do that. And by virtue of it being in your quest log, you know that it's an important thing that you need to do.
Right.
Thomas, I'm kind of curious if you agree with that stuff.
I guess I don't see what the quest log of this game does that's so like vastly different from other games that are similar to this. Like, yeah, it doesn't have a whole lot of yellow paint, I guess, but like it's still just a basically a bullet point list of the objectives you need to do. I guess it did help me keep track of all the different threads because there are a lot of threads in this
Yeah.
game for sure. But like, how is I guess what I'm getting caught up on or hung up on is how is it any meaningfully different from any quest log from any game ever?
This more felt like
Maybe
it was taking the notes for me rather than telling me what to do. It's like Paradise Killer is very similar. It's like the same style, and like I honestly don't even think that they're really that different. But it's more like, hey, if you need something to do, look at this and you can go do it. Versus like Ubisoft games where it's like you can't think for yourself because it's constant. Like everything on the screen is pointing you towards objectives.
yeah. So what I was maybe I misunderstood, but it sounds like you guys were not talking so much about the journal as you were talking about the lack of quest markers.
I kind of think of them both together. Like typically, like the journal leads will give you like a quest marker for then you to go to. I think of that as kind of just like one system, but yeah, it is an extension of the system for sure.
There's also like an in between of those two things where like in World of Warcraft, for example, you might have a quest that says like find this thing, and it gives you a quest marker, but it doesn't tell you where that thing is. It gives you like an area to search for that thing. And I think that this game not doing that is a very good idea by
Yeah.
comparison. It gives you just enough where, like Jordan said, it's taking the notes for you, it's reminding you of things that you need to do, but it's not outright spelling out what you need to do. I think I agree with that.
I think it's just like Paradise Killer too. The more I think about it, like Paradise Killer basically did it the same way. It's just that game felt more. That game felt more like find the thing means you did the thing. This game felt like you needed to kind of put the pieces together at least a little bit more than that game.
I don't know. I guess I'm still thinking about this as like again like a strand of like Skyrim DNA where like Skyrim questlog has the choice of do you want to put the marker exactly where you need to go or do you want to have the marker nowhere, and they just clicked the button that said nowhere on every single thing and moved on with their lives. And I don't know. I like so many things in this game that I'm gonna like dial it back on until I get my final rating because I don't want to piss in everyone's cereal because I really didn't like this game. Uh, it just feels unremarkable, I guess, like just extremely like fine, I guess. Like there's no other way for me to put it other than it's what every other game does, but like slightly different.
Well, one thing I will say, and I notice this a lot more, this being my second playthrough, is that like again, I agree with all the stuff we said with regards to the quest log and it being like a good source of breadcrumbing to explore and discover and blah blah blah. But the thing that really stood out to me this time is that almost all of the like major things that you need to do in this game felt like you're doing the exact same thing, which is just like talking to a person and then talking to a different person and then going back to the original person and saying, "Hey, I found this medicine for you," and ta-da, now it's fixed. There's exceptions to that. Like I think that the Decius, everything with Decius, I think is really good. Um, like exploring underneath the city, I think conceptually is cool, but I don't know. A lot of it felt like it felt like fetch questing without the fetching, I guess. And that might just be like second playthrough vibes hitting me, but that was a feeling that I got.
I think this game is like such a marvel for a lot of people because of the hook and kind of like how they get you in, and then like how cool the things around you are happening. I think like to what Tom's saying, I think the individual systems of the game are unremarkable and there's not a lot of like cool shit actually going on. But if you like the spectacle of everything that's going on and you like kind of like the mystery and then the characters a little bit, but not really, just kind of like the interactivity of the world is what you would really like latch onto. But like if you don't like kind of the overall what's going on, I think that this game becomes basically where Tom's at with it, where it's just like a really sour experience.
Yeah, because like I feel like everything I hear about this game, there's three main things I hear about this game all the time. It's a time loop. Yep, okay. It's a time loop game. Got it. Seen that before. It's a Skyrim mod. Okay, that's not actually a positive. And it's really well written.
Mhm.
And those are like the three things that everyone always latches onto. Like, bro, did you know that this game started as a Skyrim mod? That's cool. I don't like Skyrim, nor do I want to play it. Why would I want to play a fucking mod of it? But it's like everyone's like, it's like this rags to riches thing where it's like this was a Skyrim mod and now it's a standalone game. Like, sure, that is a cool story in a vacuum. Like, absolutely, that's really neat that these three or four guys made this game as a Skyrim mod and then they released it on Steam and now it's successful after remaking it in Unreal 4. That's super cool. There's no taking that away from them. But being a Skyrim mod does not a good game make, and I felt like everything surrounding the gameplay systems of this game was just really, really like once I got over the initial kind of high concept of what this game was, which is a cool concept, absolutely, positively, 100%. It is a very cool concept for a game and a story. Everything else just fell on its face so flat. Because, like, you guys are even describing, like, maybe my main, the main issue I took with this game, which was also sort of an issue in Paradise Killer, but Paradise Killer had more of a fun game surrounding it, which was the game just evolves into run around, talk to everyone, look for new like white text boxes on the dialogue tree over and over again, and that's not enjoyable, especially because I felt like, and God, I don't understand what people fillet about the writing in this game because it's not good, but that's like when the gameplay is just run around, talk to everyone, look for new dialogue options. Okay, that unlocked something new for me to do. That updated my quest log. Now I run and go talk to people again. Okay, that updated my quest log. Like rinse and repeat over and over until I'm doing the true ending. It's just I did not have a good time playing this game. Even though the like external factors surrounding the game are pretty cool. Yes, it's cool it was a Skyrim mod that turned into a full-fledged game. Yes, it's cool that it's a high concept that is really interesting and hasn't really been done before in the way that they did it in this game. But the game itself sucks.
Well, I guess when it comes to like the gameplay, it's definitely the weakest part. But there's just like so many like intangibles that occur throughout the game that I just really latched onto. Like, there's this thing that Arcanum does where every NPC you meet is called a stranger or like question marks because you don't know who they are, and to find out their name, you have to like literally ask them and introduce yourself, and then they tell your name, and then it shows their name in the game. And they did that in this game, and I thought that's just really cool, where it
Yeah.
makes you feel like you are actually kind of there. Like it's like that immersive factor. And another thing that it made me do, and it's the reason why I wish it didn't have manual saves, is that like the first time when I talked to that chick in the Sentius's daughter, and I just picked a dialogue option that pissed her off, and she wouldn't talk to me anymore, and I'd have to loop. That's when I started being way more like calculated with what I was doing. I just didn't want to
Nice.
piss anyone off because I didn't want to loop again. So it's like
Nice.
the way that it made me play the game is why I like it so much rather than playing the game. It doesn't make sense. I don't know
Yeah.
if that makes
No,
sense.
that makes complete sense.
Yeah, this is a game where like I kind of agree with Thomas where like this is not like a fully fledged realized game in some ways. Like again, I this does not feel like a game that was like expertly constructed by people that knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
But it does have a lot of things in it that I would not expect from that same group of people, like the level of responsiveness that Ben just described, or like the writing might not be great, but to me at least the writing does feel informed. Like it does feel like they read a couple history books, a couple philosophy books, and like applied some of the stuff that they learned in there. Even if like some of it is a little bit surface level, it still feels like it's there, and I feel like that's valuable.
Yeah. I think the game is good. Like I think the writing's good. Like I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's like exceptional. I don't think the game really does anything exceptional except I think the hook of the game isn't like the exceptional part. Like I think they had a really good idea.
I mean,
And I
to
think-
that point, I'm just gonna throw something out there really quick as just kind of like a side swipe at the game. I sat in Discord with Madeline a day or two ago, and she was like, "How are you liking Forgotten City?" And I answered that. And the first thing, because I guess she either played it or was playing it, presumably because Jordan was like, "Hey, you might like this game," or some shit. I don't know. But the first thing out of her mouth was, "Yeah, it really drove me nuts that they mispronounced salve."
Yeah.
And that's like that's the first word when you go inside the fucking place. The first word, salve, friend, and they got that wrong. So fucking miss me with this. They read book shit.
I think the problem is they did read and they didn't like go into the pronunciation for that one specifically.
Yeah, to be clear, when I say it feels like they read, I mean like they read up to like a high school level. And I'm
it's
not
not
saying
like
that to like disparage developers. I just mean like it is not deep, but it is like it's almost like what the game does at the end. It just feels like I'm reading a couple of museum plaques every now and then.
I'll read a sentence from my overall review here, just because it's related to this. The writing just felt like an Ethics 101 class told through a bunch of one-sentence Reddit posts or Twitter reply threads.
That reminds me, I actually was juggling a couple different Steam reviews, but I think I found yours.
Oh, I'm so excited to see this.
Shit.
Yeah, so this one says history, ethics, and philosophy according to Reddit.
That's so
That's
funny.
me! That's me!
Damn. That's fucking great.
We'll get into that more like later on if you guys want to. I feel like we kind of talked about it in the Discord a little bit, but I still have like I still feel ire towards the I don't know. Sometimes it's okay if people like shoot a lofty shot and miss. But what I don't like is when people shoot a lofty shot and feel like they hit, but they didn't. And this game, like, I don't know, it came across as a little more self-important than I think it should have. And I was watching a video or reading an interview or something with the guy that made this game, Neil something or another. And just the way that he was like describing the way that this game was written, like, I'm just gonna leave it there because we have a tacit agreement about not shitting on people.
It's kind of
It's
a
actually
fine line.
It's interesting because I feel like me not doing that made me like the game more, because I remember when you first brought up like the moral absolutism in this game, and it made me think about how my experience was when I first talked to that very first NPC that I pissed off and she didn't want to talk to me anymore. And that's why I didn't choose any of those like moral absolutist options where you talk about how great modern life is, because I felt like I was gonna piss him off and then I have to loop again. So I think that made me enjoy the game more.
That's funny.
Yeah, and I do feel like in talking to you guys afterwards, like it did. I think I put it in the OneNote that I softened my position on that a little bit, where it was like it felt like they were lording like modern ethics and morals over people that lived 2,000 years ago, and it's like, well, yeah, no shit, like things have evolved since then. Like I don't need to be told how great things have become since the times of fucking ancient Rome. But yeah, like I said, I softened on that a bit after talking to you guys. And missing stuff, I think that was like the crux of it. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah,
I think the big thing is you didn't realize, or you just hadn't experienced the quote unquote like true ending, I guess you would call it, like where you actually convince Pluto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I think I liked it better because I didn't get that ending.
I don't know. I liked exposing him as a hypocrite, even though I don't think he reacted in a way that lines up with how like a Greek god would actually react if you do something like that.
He's not a Greek god, right? That's kind of the point. He's like an alien.
But I mean, he still is like representing who
A
that
stand-in.
would be.
Well, I mean, I don't even think that's true, right? Because like, he would be
Well-
a stand-in for like pre-Sumerian gods, which is like not even a thing.
Well, he is technically a Greek god, but he's technically a god of all of the cultures.
Yeah, I think that's why like also Persephone's there, right? I don't think he's just like this random alien. I think he is supposed to be tied to the representation of either Pluto or Hades or
Yeah,
the other
that's
two
true.
civilizations that I can't remember. And so like because if you would expose them as a hypocrite, they would just like do some really fucked up shit to you.
Yeah,
Like
that's
they would
true.
turn you into like a cricket or something.
Yeah, they
Like he
turn you
wouldn't
into a
just be
fucking
like,
goat.
"You're right, I'll let you go." Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
like,
that specifically is why I think I wouldn't like the ending where you do
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
Planescape Torment thing where you just like convince him he's wrong. Because realistically, if I was in that time loop situation, like I wouldn't want to have to do another loop after pissing that dude off. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't even
Yeah.
chance it.
I feel like the way it's actually done in the game is fair even to that end though, because it's not that you are convincing him that you are right. You are convincing him that one of his equals fooled him.
Right.
Like that's what actually convinces him in the end.
I guess I didn't get that far, so I didn't see how
Yeah.
that turns out.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Ben, that like I think it's like that part bothered me a little bit, but the way that you guys went through it bothered me like way more. Like because it feels very unsatisfactory that you kind of like beat him via like being a brute. I was like, I don't like that.
I like that because it's realistic. It's like the only way you could get at someone like that.
True. I do think so. I think that style of ending is like would be the preferred one, but I think how they did it, I don't really like. I don't like Persephone's kind of motivation. Like her motivation's kind of weird, and like how she can just like talk to you directly. Like I feel like there's just kind of like a lot of like small holes in how the things operate that kind of just like add up to bothering me. But I don't really know how I would do it in a way that would make me feel better about the whole thing. I didn't like the idea of like killing her gets him pissed or something. I'd rather you figure out a way to like, I don't know, get the gods to overthrow him or something.
Yeah, I guess like a lot of the stuff around Persephone is a bit contrived, yeah. But like I'm just putting myself in the game developer's shoes, and they're just trying to think of like a good ending.
Sure.
And maybe they had an inkling of an idea that the whole like debate ending would piss off people. So like if that's the best they can come up with, then I'm fine with that.
I do think it's very cool that there isn't one option to get you to the end. Like I do think that it's cool that you doing that also gets you to the museum.
Wait, what do you mean?
Didn't you guys go to the museum? You guys
Yeah.
went to the museum, right? Yeah. So I think because we did it completely different ways. So I like that it's not like yours got you to a different ending, and then but if you would talk to him, then that would get you to a different ending. I like that they both converge to the same ending.
Yeah, not only that, but like I forget the names of the characters, but there's 3 characters that can show up in the museum, and all 3 of them were in the ending for my game, even though I basically Dormammu'd the underworld guy into like kowtowing to my will. So that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, that's like one of the things I was getting at, where every aspect of this game might not be at like a 90% or a 95%, but it's very much like a greater than its sum of its parts situations, for me at least, just because like I just wouldn't expect a lot of this from a 3-person inexperienced
Yeah.
team. Like
Mm-hmm.
this game came out before the Doctor Strange movie. That's not a big point, but I think that's kind of cool where they had that concept of like beating a god with a time loop before, a major Marvel movie. I think that's just
and I
funny.
think maybe some of my issues could conceivably be derived from how much I've heard people talk this game up over the years. Because like this is one of those games that I feel like people fucking sing its exaltations like constantly. Not constantly, but like when it comes up, people are like, "Oh yeah." So I had this whole like preconceived notion of it going in, and I don't know, maybe it was just built up too much in my mind before I played it.
Probably, because I think what Seth said, like where people say like Outer Wilds and Obra Dinn, those are 2 like master classes in how to make a game like that, and I don't think that this is on the same tier as those 2 games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this game is so far away from Outer Wilds it like
Yeah.
hurts.
But I think this game is good and cool. Like I think the main word I use for this game is cool.
Yeah, it scratches an itch, and it's a game that, like, I think most people who love Outer Wilds are glad that they played, but like the ordering that I'm sure everyone would agree with in terms of quality is Outer Wilds, then Oberdin, then Forgotten City, and it's like one of those multiple arrows at Forgotten City, with the Paradise Killer somewhere in between there. But yeah, I might be like hyping this game up a little bit too much, from what I'm saying, because I'm honestly not like super high on it. It's just one of those things where like I just think they had a lot of really good ideas in the game, even if
Yeah.
they didn't execute perfectly.
Yeah. No, I do agree with that. For sure I agree with that. I think that this game is chock full of really good ideas and novel ideas even. It's just like all of the execution is what I take umbrage with. But like
Very clunky.
the actual high conceptual part of this
Yeah.
game is very strong for sure.
Yeah, that's why I was coming out the gate saying I think the only thing excellent about the game is the hook, which is basically like what you just said. Like I think like the idea is the best part.
One thing that I will say is that I'm actually really interested in playing the Outer Wilds now, even though I probably shouldn't. Maybe
It's so much harder than this game. Like this game doesn't really have
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
puzzles.
This game is
doesn't.
not difficult.
Yeah, this game's not difficult, and there's like only a couple puzzles I can think of. But Outer Wilds is just a puzzle, and
It's also like 7 times the size of this game.
unlike
Ugh.
Forgotten City, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but like the loop in Outer Wilds is on a timer. It's like 22 minutes
Yep.
or something like that.
Yep.
And like 22
It's-
minutes, the world explodes and you start over. So there's no like lollygagging. Like you gotta do shit.
I mean, it's the same in Forgotten City. I think it's just tougher to get to that in Forgotten City.
Does it just end at some point? I swear,
Yeah,
I left
it-
I left
it-
the game running and it never.
Oh, does
never
it?
Did.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
If
Wait,
you
what
leave-
happens?
If you leave the game running, then eventually the election happens, and
Yep.
then Malleolus gets elected, and then
Oh,
it breaks the rule, and you have to.
How long
loop.
does that take?
A while. Like a while.
It must be.
It's
It
very
must be
hard
like.
to get to.
It must
I
be like
wouldn't
more
say
than
it's
an
that
hour.
long.
Because I was
So-
playing. I was playing this game at work, and like I would. I intentionally didn't pause it at some point and went and did some work shit and came back and I was just standing there. I was like, oh, okay, maybe there is nothing that just like triggers the.
It's definitely like hour-ish. I don't know the exact amount of time. It definitely can happen, but it definitely takes a while.
I
Yeah, the election
remember.
makes sense.
I remember that the first time that I saw it happen was after I went through the entire temple in the combat section,
Yeah.
and then when I came out, they started having the election, and that's when I realized it was systematic.
Yeah.
And it was one of those actually like really cool moments for me, actually.
But in any case, I think we've done enough like back and forth, like gushing / railing. I think we should have some unified railing of some of the stuff in this game. I don't know if you guys will disagree, but man, some of the assets in this game are just fucking trash. Like the
Oh, yeah.
character models, at least for me, have not aged well. The performances, garbage. Oh man, like
So
they-
this.
ugh.
Okay, so this is like a brief excerpt from my technical diatribe of the game development of the Forgotten City, but it's near the beginning of the game, and it sticks out like a sore thumb because of the high fidelity of all the different assets. Like it looks like it's. I'm not saying it's like the best looking game, but like it's decent looking, and they're going for like kind of photorealism. So there's like this part where you're like near like a water, not a waterfall, but like there's like mini waterfalls in this like river,
Yeah.
and the assets that they used, they have just like straight up like discrete seams, and
Ha.
I understand that like they had limited resources, but like normally in game development you can like cover up those seams with like particle effects, but instead of doing that they did nothing, and it's just it just sticks out. It just looks really weird. Like it looked like a literal like copy paste of an asset.
Sure.
And that's just like one minor thing. I'm just gonna stop there because there's like a lot more that I can shit on.
That's funny.
No, I forget. I am gonna shit on it a little bit more. So there's like certain parts of the game where, like way back in the day, in like old Source Engine, like Half-Life 1 and 2, like they didn't do asynchronous loading back then, where you can like kind of load in gradually another level while you're in the
Mhm.
level you're in currently, so that when you get there, it doesn't have to like load in and it's like seamless. They didn't do that in this game, and they. So what happens is like there are certain points where you get that long loading
Yeah.
screen, and then afterwards it loads up the level, but the light map is completely different, so you know that it's a different level because the lighting's completely different,
Yeah.
and also they bungled up like the seam. Hold on.
What is a seam?
We'll know very shortly. So the way they try to do this illusion where it's seamless, but it's really not. When you hit that transition and you turn around, they didn't have the different levels be flush against each other. Look at that white
Oh,
gap
that's
there.
funny.
Like, what the fuck is
Oh, what
going
the
on?
hell?
Anyone can see this. Why didn't they fix this?
Wow, that is gnarly.
That's a really
very
bad
funny.
one.
And that happens at every place that there's a loading screen. That's not the only one.
How did I not notice that? That's so
You didn't
obvious.
turn
Well,
around.
because you
Holy.
didn't turn around, yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably
am a
why it's
W
in the
holder.
game, because they probably didn't fucking turn around. Like Ben got him with the good one.
Yeah, this is like a peek at how the sausage is made.
Yeah. That's a good one. That doesn't surprise me at all, though, to be fair. With
Yeah, me neither.
who these guys are and what the story
Yeah.
is behind them. Like I would expect kind of these weird hobbled together things like that.
Like, as much as I like this game, the truth is, like, I don't know if these guys even know how to use Unreal Engine all that much.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
I would expect something like this from a Skyrim mod. I wouldn't expect it from a standalone game on Steam.
I
$25, by the way.
I wouldn't expect
Yeah.
it, but I understand it.
$25
Yeah, I
is
mean-
also pretty fucking steep, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know like exactly what kind of like technical lengths they went to, but like in some ways they did replicate the like mouthfeel of Skyrim really well.
Yeah.
And I imagine a lot of that is just them obviously having done a lot of work inside of that engine and having like a peek under the hood so that they knew how to like rebuild some of that. And in some instances I think that that is pretty cool. Like it is pretty neat that these like guys that clearly are not maybe the most technically like capable people to ever grace the earth were still able to replicate certain facets of one of the like most successful games of all time. But at the same time, why would you replicate a Bethesda game? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, they did all this work just to recreate Creation Engine in Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
It's just like Creation Engine has just been like dunked on by literally everybody, so it's just like strictly a negative as far as I'm concerned.
Ben, do you have more in what you wrote for all the design stuff about the character models? Because
That's just
these
straight
motherfuckers.
Creation Engine, and that's
Yeah.
wearing the inspiration way too much on your sleeves. We're like
Yeah.
they've got like the fucking dead eye stares, and oh my god.
They're just staring so deeply into my soul. The only character that should have been doing that was Charon, not fucking all the randos in the city. Oh my god.
My fucking favorite was like every so often I would talk to an NPC and I would initiate the dialogue while they were turned around and they wouldn't turn around. So I was just talking to
funny.
the back of their head the whole fucking time. And like because of the dialogue and the NPC, there were a couple times where I was like, is that meant to happen? Like is this on purpose? Because it was like a contentious NPC or like a contentious interaction or some shit. And no, it's just Creation Engine never left the building.
It's funny. I didn't have that happen, but I believe it.
I'm just picturing that happening while you're like confronting Sentius at the end of the BNC routes, and he's turned like 270 degrees away from you.
Oh god, that reminds me. Like my favorite fucking part is that fucking ending when she like posts up behind him before she lights him on fire or whatever. Yes, thank you, Ben.
I was waiting to bring this up basically the whole time because I think that was the most like weird part of the game to me. I was just it's like she just shows up while you're talking to him.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
she's
she's just
there for like
creeping.
10 minutes.
She is
So-
fucking. She's stealthy as hell.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny as fuck.
I think it's funny
loved
too,
it.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it doesn't fit the scene at all. It's so fucking weird.
Oh, it's funny as shit just for the wrong reasons, and then she
Yeah.
lights him on fire, and you get the ah,
Yeah.
ah,
Especially
ah.
because like narratively, there's nowhere to fucking hide in that room.
Yeah,
He's just wearing
exactly.
horse blinders.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand that whole scene. It was very fucking goofy, but I don't know. Kinda
I mean, again, it's like, how else are you really gonna pull it off? Like, don't think about it too hard, kind of shit. But it
I mean,
is
just have her
funny.
show up right before she's gonna set him on fire. There's no reason she needs to be there while you're talking to him.
Have her crawl on the ceiling like Spider-Man, bro. Fuck it.
You literally, you don't need to do anything different. Just don't bring her in until she sets him on fire.
You don't even need to like have her behind him. It could just be like do a toss animation for the character model, and there's like a torch at his feet now, and that's what sets him on fire. I don't know. It's
Actually,
fucking
how
goofy.
does she set him on fire? Like, what is the mechanism that she uses? Like, what is in that room? Like, I
think there were
understand there's like
sconces.
torches and sconces on the wall or whatever, but she's not holding any. I'm looking at the picture right now.
Might be in her other hand. Might be the light source illuminating her face. I don't know.
Nah, I'm not gonna. Again, it's not worth thinking about it too hard.
It's just one of those things where like the first time I play it, it's just like kind of cute and like quirky, I guess is the word I would use for some of that stuff in the game. But then when you start looking at it with a critical lens, it's like, what the fuck were they
Yeah.
thinking?
I mean, I remember when it happened, I was like, "What the fuck? What? Huh?" And then she was just there for like 5 minutes while I'm just talking to him, and I don't know, it's just super jarring. If they meant for it to be funny, I think that rules, but I don't
I don't
can't
think
believe
they
it.
There's
did.
no way.
I can't believe that
Not for that
they
scene.
No,
Yeah.
I think that's just the best that they could do with their knowledge of the engine.
Which I
They just-
don't understand. That's like a choice, though. You don't need to put her in the scene until she sets him on fire. They were actively like, "Bring her in."
Yeah, but even if they did, even if they landed the ending correctly and just did it the way they wanted, like with the timing, the fidelity would still be there. Where it's just like these super realistic models doing weird shit,
Oh, sure.
and it's just like,
There would still be that for sure.
yeah. And I think that's just one thing that Paradise Killer has on this game is that because that game doesn't have like realistic graphics, it can get away with like goofy shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that game just being so like hyper stylized the way it is, like really masks some of the issues that it actually does share with this game in some regards.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But like the way that it just bleeds the aesthetics and style that it has, and also actually having gameplay that's like somewhat fun,
Yeah.
just like shields it from a lot of the criticism that it does not get that this game does not get shielded from.
Yeah, I think like that's the big thing where I was saying, along with like some of the other stuff we've said, I feel like this game just is not going to age well the more time passes.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, you're definitely right about the stylistic stuff because like I'm thinking about Paradise Killer, and like the weirdest thing visually to me was when you get into the Syndicate chamber and they're all fucking spray painted onto the floor like a
Mhm.
Counter-Strike spray, but it like works in the style of that game. But then when you see something weird that's like super out of place in a game like this, especially at a particularly serious moment, it just sticks out like a really, really,
Yeah.
really sore thumb.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think this game is going to be
100% agree.
hilarious in like 10 years. Like, I think people would shit all over how this game looks in like 2031.
Oh yeah.
They need to
Especially-
remake it.
Remastered, $50.
Just gotta wait for Unreal Engine.
There we go.
God, I'm censoring that out of the. But yeah, on top of all of that, oh my God, was this unanimous? Were all of the performances bad? Is there a good, like an objectively good one?
I thought they were fine, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
I thought like I'm not gonna say that they were like award winning, but I thought it was okay.
Do
For
they
me-
clear the Chaos Wars bar? Yes.
For me, a bad performance is like NBA 2K17 or whatever the one where they got the actual basketball players to do it. That's a bad performance. Even like Chaos Wars, I have fun with like those campy style
Wait,
goofy ones. Like top
when you're
15
talking-
voice acting. What's up?
When you bring up the NBA one, are you talking about when they hired like the actual basketball players?
Yeah,
to do
where
the
they're just
voices?
like, I can't believe you didn't pass me the rock this in the game right here. Why couldn't you give me the rock someone? Yeah, like those. That's bad. even like Chaos Wars, I take enjoyment from like how ridiculously crazy they do shit. Like not Michelin, Michigan, whatever, that dead game. That shit's awesome and just like campy and fun. So like I don't know. For it to be bad needs to just be like basically the NBA game to me.
I think now that I'm thinking about it, it might not be that the performances are like as bad as I'm thinking right now. They're definitely not great.
They're
Like
fine.
fine-ish,
Yeah.
but I think like reflecting on it right now in the moment, it might be more of a sound mixing thing. Like I'm thinking about it, and I think all of the characters sound the exact same considering the environment they're in. Like
Oh, for sure.
I would have to like double check this, but like what's her name? Centilla? Like she's in like an echoey water-filled metal-ish or like stone chamber. It would have a lot more resonance and
Yeah.
vibration to it, but I'm pretty sure there's no mixing to add that. It's the exact same as like characters that are outside in the open.
No, I think you're right. I don't think they did any kind of After Effects on any of the voices or anything. It was just talking in the microphone. Okay, that's it. Put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe that's what's bugging me about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and I will say I don't think any of the like there's no performance that's like egregious on like a fucking what's that game? The Virtual Boy
Georgius.
Zelda game or the CDI Zelda game or
Oh.
whatever.
I love those, but keep going.
But there's nothing that's like good either. Like
Yeah.
like I would say the main bad guy, Scintillus, is that Sentius? Yeah. Oh yeah, his name's right there. Like he did okay. He was probably the highlight, I think, maybe.
Sure, yeah.
But then you have people like
And Pluto.
fucking Dooley, who's like just
Yeah.
probably shouldn't have been greenlit because it's what's wrong with having a character talk like this? I don't see the problem with this.
I got mad when he was in the museum.
Yours was like the Paradise Killer where you could just shoot him with the gun right then and there.
Yeah, at some point along the way, he should have just fucking died from incompetence.
You would think he would, right? If the motherfucker broke the golden rule in 3 seconds, like how is he not going to get hit by a car or something immediately?
Yeah, that's another thing too. I was like amazed at how well these people just like got transported 2,000 years in the future and just seemed to like adapt no problem.
I think that's the biggest suspension of disbelief I needed to have because like clearly they would all dead from culture shock immediately.
Also,
not just
the devout Christian cultist is now gay.
Yeah, very true.
There is one thing I did like about the museum. I thought the whole thing was contrived, and I didn't think it was bad, but I didn't like the true ending that much. But one thing that I found very amusing was when what's her name, the bartender lady gets duped by like a Nigerian prince scam. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's kind of why I don't mind it, because I think there's a lot of like just like funny little quips in there, like talking about how you lie to whoever the fuck it was about like DVD rentals are gonna have a bright future, shit like that. I just thought it was, like, fun.
Decius.
Yeah,
and he's like getting into the stock market and stuff. Yeah, I actually, yeah. I don't know. I actually really like the true ending. I feel like we've talked about unsatisfactory or satisfactory endings very frequently, and I feel like this is a good example of, barring the writing and whatever else, I feel like it is a very satisfactory ending. Like, you broke the loop, you stopped the golden rule, and all the friends that you made along the way get to have their like semi-utopia ending, and you even get to like save all of the statues in addition to that. I don't know, it all kind of came together for me.
I mean, I guess saying that I dislike it is stronger than I made it to be, because I did like the true ending. I just, like you said, the suspension of disbelief was like fucking incredible that you need to have.
I don't know. To me, it just felt like a game like this doesn't need to have a like super bland Disney movie and everyone lived happily ever after ending, and having that fucking like going up to the like guardrail and looking down on all the statues are there. It was just like, why did this need to be like fucking like Schindler's List telling me, look at all these people you've saved, look at what you've done? Like it was just so, I think, wholly unnecessary.
I think the clapping specifically is a bit much.
Yeah, it was like the end of Evangelion. But like, and the way that I would do it, like the director's Ben cut, is that you would still go to the museum, but instead of them being there, you'd like look at the exhibits and it's just them doing cool
Yeah.
shit way back in the past.
Yeah.
That would have been
Oh,
so
yeah,
much
true.
better, actually.
They
Yeah.
like had that too, man. They had the setup for it. I'm pissed that you said
what
that.
I thought that's what they were
Yeah,
doing.
I wanted that so
when they
bad
first
because I'd
did
be
it.
like, yeah, because that's what Final Fantasy 14 did with one of their story threads that I thought was really cool, and I thought they were gonna do it. And then when I saw Dooley, almost fucking exploded.
Yeah, because I mean that's basically what they do with the non museum endings, right? Like you get a tablet that like references what they did and talks about use the Oracle or whatever and all that shit.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. That was a good show, Ben.
The director Ben Cut wins again, man.
Mhm.
Man, I might have to lower my score just because it doesn't have that.
But yeah, there's just so many problems like that I take with this game where it's like it doesn't. It seems like it tries to be this sort of heady game that's like this Socratic dialogue on like just like nonsense, but um, it doesn't really know what to say or how to say it, and that is just a problem that felt pervasive in this game, and that is just another example that was implanted into my brain.
Thomas, how did you feel about some of the talks with people like the hermit philosophers? That's the main one I'm thinking of, where it's like very much focused on like the argumentation philosophy stuff.
I mean, again, I would have to go back and listen to it again because I was kind of like upset listening to it, and I was. It's a lot of words that say nothing, and the problem is it's not a lot of words. I guess that's actually the problem, is because they take these like very simple concepts and make them sound more complex than they really are, and I'd have to go back and listen to the philosopher one like very specifically because I don't remember the exact contents other than I know you're debating like the golden rule or whatever. But like, here's my thing. Why does the golden rule need to be debated? In what fucking universe would anyone ever want to live under a society where if one person breaks a rule, everyone in that society dies? Like, there's no argument to be made there. Like, they even say it in the game, like, oh yeah, that's a war crime in my days. Why am I gonna sit here and try and defend a fucking war crime? It makes no sense.
Yeah, that's fair. I thought the philosopher thing, that was pretty like a eye roll moment for me. It was just like, talk to him. Does he have anything for me? No, I've exhausted my options. See ya.
yeah, that's how I treated it too.
Yeah, like I said, I don't even remember the specifics of the dialogue itself, other than you debate the golden rule. And again, it's like that's not something that even needs to be debated because, like, under what degree of argumentation, like, what is the argument you could make that would have me like, you know what, maybe the golden rule's not that bad? Like, no, that's impossible.
I guess like if I'm to play devil's advocate for a second, it would be something like take the Christian interpretation of the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, which I think most people would agree is like a decent thing. Like if you want to be treated well, then you should also be treated well. And I don't know if the game makes this argument, but like there is an argument that like if you want that kind of thing in your society, then it needs to be enforced in some way. And like the logical, like far end of that would be if you break it, then the opposite happens to you, and then extrapolating that out to entire society. I don't know. It's a bit much, I guess, but
Yeah, I mean
it probably doesn't need to be debated.
It's like
That's just like
Hammurabi, right?
that's just like a straw man argument to me, though. It's like do unto others as you would do unto you. Yes. So like here's what's like a good meme template where it's like do unto others as you would do unto you. It's like Vince, what's his name, like Cumming or whatever.
Oh,
And then the
man.
one under that would be do unto others as you would, or fucking whatever the golden rule is, comma, or else everyone dies. And then that's Vince McMahon, like, I don't know, with his ass in the air or something. Because that just makes no sense. No one has ever made that argument before.
Well, technically, the ancient Romans made that argument with decimation.
Decimation isn't like a complete and utter annihilation of the entire society the way that it is in this game, though. Like that's what I'm saying is like a straw man is like decimation is 1 in 10, but what's the fucking I forget the phrase that happens when you actually break the golden rule, but it's basically implying like y'all dead. 1 in 10, that's 10%. That's not y'all dead. Golden Rule and Forgotten City, that's y'all dead. And there's no. I don't understand what the game is trying to say when it's like, you know what, this is bad. Like, really? You don't say.
Well, I think at least in terms of how decimation applies to it, it's what they said with the ancient Roman phalanxes, where they were trying to, or they were trying to get everyone to act in line because anyone could be punished for any sin. And so, like, that's the idea with the golden rule. It's the same thing. Anyone can be punished for any sin. It just happens to be that everyone will be punished for it.
Yeah, no, for sure. But again, like the thing that I'm always going to turn back to is like, why do I need to be told that that's bad? Like, that's the thing that they did thousands of years ago. Like, there's a lot of things that happened thousands of years ago that I don't need to be told are bad now, and I don't need to sit through a game that is like engaging in a Socratic dialogue telling me that like child sacrifice is bad. Like, I know that. I live in 2025, not 25.
Fair enough.
I just thought of a weird hypothetical, and it's definitely outside of the range of the developers to make something like this, but theoretically, if you like got to the end of the game and you talk to Pluto and you find out that like he's willing to ascend everybody with him and Persephone, could like would you just start like another loop and then basically do the Sentius thing, like become Sentius yourself? Like we're making this shit happen.
That'd be sick.
And you just
That'd
like
be
rule with
tight.
an iron fist for a year.
That would be a funny bad ending.
I do wish that was another ending where you could do all of the stuff instead of having Galerius do it,
Yeah.
and then you get voted in.
Oh, that's a good point. It would have been within the confines of their ability to do that. You just win the election.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what happens. Is it possible for you to do all of the
Oh
things?
yeah, no, that's right. They say you can't run. I forgot.
Yeah, you can't run
'Cause
you're
you're not
a
society.
Gay.
Yeah. I think stuff like that would be cool, kind of like more goofy endings along that line.
Yeah, give me those near automata endings. Give me
Yeah,
like
exactly.
every letter of the alphabet. Well, Jordan, one of the things you wrote in here was one of the themes of the game being hypocrisy. Did you want to delve into that a little bit deeper?
I mean, that's just kind of what I thought when Tom was saying, like, what are they trying to say? I feel like, kind of with what they're talking with Pluto and everything, I feel like they're just trying to say, like, everyone's a hypocrite and, like, you all, like, everyone thinks that their way's right. And, like, it's not until someone else tells you that you're wrong and you realize that you're, like, a hypocrite. And I think that that's kind of what they were going with, especially with, like, the Pluto thing. Even with you saying, like, in my time, that's, like, part of a war crime. I think that's kind of trying to say, like, yeah, but what's saying that your time is, like, the right time? Like that's kind of what the main thing of what I thought they were saying was just a commentary on hypocrisy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's another way of saying how I kind of perceive it, which is like every society kind of building on each other and replacing it. And like, depending on your interpretation, those ideas like the golden rule are either getting refined or bastardized. But yeah, viewing it through hypocrisy is also definitely true, which is why I like the inclusion of Pluto in this game as like the grand antagonist. I think it kind of pulls everything together compared to like if Sentius was the only big bad, you
Right.
know?
Yeah, for sure. Kind of what Tom said. I think the game kind of does argue points that no one else would argue for. Just kind of like, yeah, it's like theoretical
Yeah.
arguments that no one would actually take the other side of, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, because it's like I see what you're saying, but I think it kind of goes back to what I was saying initially before we even started this, is that like the game is arguing in some ways, not entirely, about like moral absolutism versus relativism, and it's like I don't think there's very many people on the planet who are going to argue in favor of moral absolutism just because it doesn't make any sense, because like cultures have to evolve and change over time, and when those cultures evolve and change over time, the moral and ethical fabric are going to change as well, which is like the thing that this game is saying. But again, at the same time, it's like no shit.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and also to be fair, I think a lot of people share Thomas's view on this because when I was looking for through the Steam reviews, and I always filter by negative because I think it's the best way to find the funny ones. A lot of people feel the same way that Thomas does about this game.
Really, I gotta go read these reviews.
It makes
Yeah,
sense.
I think if there was anything that this game needed to fit in somehow, it's critiquing more the modern time in the sense of how it would
Yeah.
evolve in the future. Because the
Mhm.
only element of that you get in the game is when you bring the stuff up to Sentius, you're like, in my time, that's a war crime. And he's like, oh, well, with fewer rights comes fewer responsibilities and that stuff. But that's not like we're looking at through our lens of like a modern person and thinking it's barbaric, but we don't get to see how like a modern idea is criticized in a way that's actually valid,
Right.
which is where I think someone like the hermit philosopher should come in and
Yeah.
doesn't.
100%. Yeah, because again, like, I don't need to be told that like people had some backwards views thousands of years ago. Because like I know, I want to know about the people that have the backwards views today and how those things may evolve and what we can do to like further ourselves as a culture and species. Because like what fucking relevance does someone critiquing the way someone lived in the year like 169 have to do at all with my own lived experience? Because like yeah, obviously we have libraries full of like moral issues that old cultures engaged with, and I don't think it would be a surprise to anyone to learn that maybe that shit wasn't so good, which is why we don't do it anymore.
Right.
So like a game that's just chock full of again these Socratic dialogues over like arguments that don't really need to be made because it's just like extremely, I don't want to say common sense, but it's like self-evident from anyone who has like examined any
Yeah.
degree of history ever will just be able to like come to a very simple logical conclusion.
Yeah, I think a term that I'm thinking in my head right now that I don't know if it's a real term, but I'm going to invent one, and that's champagne historian, kind of like a champagne socialist. A champagne historian is someone that like knows all of this stuff about past cultures and has learned from it and like critiques it, but doesn't critique anything about the modern time because they only know things about like the historical lens, just a very
Mhm.
like mighty or holier than thou kind of person.
Yeah, I think it's
Yep.
definitely missing the kind of how Disney has like the criminal learns from the good guy and the good guy learns from the criminal and they're all friends at the end. I think they kind of miss that kind of part
Yeah.
of the story.
Yeah, in fact they do the exact opposite, which is
Yeah.
like something that bothered me. It was like in that museum scene, it was like no one changed. It was like the shyster
Exactly.
shop owner is still a shyster shop owner. And
Yeah.
so, like, no one learned or grew from their mistakes. They just, like, doubled down on who they already were.
Right.
Well, except the gay dudes, but I think that's it.
Well, I think that that dude was implied to be, like, a closet wink, wink, nudge, nudge
Yeah,
gay
yeah,
guy,
yeah.
like, before all that. But yeah.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is he changed. That's about it. Maybe
I
not
don't think
like
he.
in a significant way.
I don't think he changed. I think the environment around him allowed him to change.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
I'm not saying it's like anything groundbreaking, but
Right.
he's like the only one that could be described in any way as like having
Different,
developed.
yeah.
I guess.
But again, though, I feel like that was, like a whole part of his storyline, right? Is that, like, I don't know, he was homophobic because he had arthritis, and then as soon as you cure his arthritis, suddenly he's gay. And that was before all the museum stuff.
Maybe that's what they do at like gay conversion therapy. It's just arthritis
Yeah,
treatments.
rheumatoid arthritis.
Give him some willow bark. He'll be eating pussy in no time.
Anybody else thinks Al's a pussy? I mean, I know I brought it up at the beginning, but I still think that guy's a hell of a pussy.
I think he's just such a nothing character. Like
Yeah.
considering how he's introduced you and like a lot of the game is built around finding him to begin with, like he's just unimportant and boring and
I
by the end of the game I don't even know why he was there.
yeah, I forgot he existed until the very ending when he comes back and I was like, "Oh yeah, you're that dude."
I think he serves a really good purpose in the beginning of showing kind of like what the fuck, where like you're like, oh look, this guy's hanging and he's like a gold statue. Like I think that that's like a good like memorable moment, but him as a character is just like a gigantic pussy. I'm like, I can't figure out how to get out of the loop. I'm gonna kill myself, and then he does. Like I was just like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, like another issue is kind of in the Al thing where it's like I feel like the game never does a good job of like centering on its like main like narrative friction where it's like eventually like you start the game and it's like Al and who's Al and I'm gonna go get Al out of these ruins, and then you meet Cynthius and it's like, oh, I need to solve this murder, but then it quickly forgets that, and then it's just all about like solving the mystery of the golden rule, and it's like, what is even the
Yeah.
point of having all this other backdrop shit, because like the game never really treats it like it matters.
True. I mean, I'm kind of glad that it does because all the other backdrop shit isn't nearly as interesting as the golden
Yeah,
rule is.
that is true.
So I'm glad that they didn't tell me about a bunch of bullshit I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah, that was one thing that I think I forgot to mention earlier, which is like we were criticizing a lot of the stuff around the game, but like the golden rule is still a super cool concept, and if
Yeah.
that's what you're going to focus on your game, then good job, I guess.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
even have the murder mystery at all, you know?
It's kind of like subversion because I think that that's like a really cool thing that the game does. Like when you show up, Sentius is like, "Hey, here's what you're trying to do," but then slowly as you go through it, you're like, "Fuck that shit, I don't give a fuck." Kind of like how Disco Elysium, you show up and you're like, "Hey, I need to figure out who killed this motherfucker," and then by the end of that, you don't give a fuck.
I mean, that's not true. The whole
I don't
game
know how
is
that game ends.
the whole game. The whole game is the murder mystery.
Well, yeah. But I mean, that's not the point, right? Like you're not playing the game because you're playing a murder mystery game.
I mean, the point of the game is to like watch the main character like
Right. React to
be
the environment
be
around him.
himself. Yeah, but like the actual plot and like the thread of the game is all
True.
around the murder mystery. Like there's no true ending of Disco Elysium where you don't find the fucking the
Yeah, that's
exiled
true.
soldier or whatever his name is.
Yeah, it feels less like side stories that are adding to the broader narrative and more like new chapters, and it just keeps forgetting to end the chapter before going to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I still think I would like it better than if you showed up and they were like, "Hey, there's a golden rule. We need to figure out how to get out of it." I like how there's like a, "Hey, investigate this," but then you end up trying to figure out what the fuck's actually going on.
Yeah, so my read on it is that it gets relegated to being like a game mechanic, which I actually kind of like, because like instead of actually solving the mystery, you can. I didn't actually do it. I didn't report anyone to Sentius, but I assume if you do, it could have gameplay implications. Where like I was thinking about maybe if I just rat out Dooley like beforehand, then maybe I can not have him fuck up. Like he just gets exiled or something, or maybe that even makes the golden rule get broken faster because they just kill him or something. I just thought that would be interesting, but I didn't actually do it to see if that's actually what happens. So I'm kind of talking out of my ass here.
Yeah, I never reported anyone to him either.
Yeah, I didn't either.
The only other thing I had written down is like a meta like thing, and I didn't have any inroads into any kind of like discussion or anything, but I was just kind of thinking out loud what it is about this game. Like, how does it compare both like as far as the game itself is concerned and the surrounding dialogue concerning the game as like mod to standalone games? So like Daisy, for example, would be another one that comes to mind immediately.
Wait, what was the actual question?
There wasn't one. I didn't have like an
Oh,
inroad
okay.
into a question.
Okay.
I was just curious how like this game compares both as far as like the dialogue surrounding it and the actual game itself as like games that started out as mods that developed into standalone games, because I was just like fucking amazed at how like you can't go anywhere on the internet with people talking about this game where the first sentence out of their mouth isn't, and this, believe it or not, this is gonna drop your shorts. You're gonna be amazed. This was a Skyrim mod.
It was the first sentence of this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
No, I think like I don't know exactly where you want to go with it, but like mods turning into standalone games, I think is like one of the like subtly biggest things of the entire gaming industry that AAA companies don't want you to know about. Like don't tell your doctor this. Like games like Dota becoming League of Legends and then becoming Dota 2. Things like Team Fortress 2 was TFC, was a counter or a Half-Life mod, which was just fucking Quake. Like all of this stuff just like boils down to some source part and becomes this huge thing. Same thing with auto battlers and auto chess and all of this stuff. Like, I don't know, all that shit is such a deep rabbit hole that it's just a really cool thing about the entire sphere, I think.
And it's just crazy because like there's so many games. Like I don't know what it is specifically about Forgotten City that makes everyone like lose their shit. Talking about the fact that it started out as a mod, because like there's so many things that started out as mods. Like Dear Esther started as a mod. Fucking Chivalry started as a mod. But like you don't hear people necessarily talking about all that shit all the time the way that they do with this game. And I guess I was just curious what it was about this game that makes people always have to feel like they have to drop that little nugget of knowledge like as soon as they start talking about this game.
I think it's kind of the same thing that like the Game Awards has an obsession with saying solo dev. I think it's just kind of like
But it's just so weird about this game in particular, because all you have to do is play the game for less than 10 seconds and you know it's a fucking Skyrim mod.
Yeah, it's not like it meaningfully separates itself.
Yeah. I would think it would benefit if it did, honestly.
And honestly, like, I don't know, like I haven't played the original Skyrim mod, but if it's like pretty 1-to-1 with this game, like what does it even use from Skyrim in this game? Like Skyrim had a lot of shit. Like it had like flying models with the dragons that this game could have used, had like spells and shit that this game could use. It really doesn't do a lot. I don't know, but I don't know what I would have expected. So,
well, I was gonna say that like having like magic spells and dragons flying around and shit would make sense in this game until I realized at the end of this game is you walking into a spaceship and talking to a god. So
yeah,
so never mind.
Reconstitute the dragon models into like fucking spaceships or some shit.
Yeah, fucking turn the Lord of the Underworld into Parthenax or whatever his name is. But yeah, like I said, I didn't have any like discussion points there. I was just kind of waxing about it a little bit in my OneNote, but didn't have anything meaningful to add to a conversation. Just curious if you guys did. But if not,
I have kind of a question. Do you guys think that like trend of mods becoming these big things is going to continue? Like, what would be the next big thing at this point? It's hard to predict, but like,
I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking.
I don't think, I think it'll slow down until it stops happening, because the realistic thing is that the only reason why it started as a Skyrim mod is because they didn't know how to make games in a real engine. But it's 2025 now, and it's because gaming or game development just gets easier and easier every day. So there's no reason to start off as a mod.
Like so many of like if you look at a list of games that became mods, you'll notice it's all like Gold Source. And like Source Engine and like all of this old shit from before Unity existed. So now that Unity's there, why the hell do you need to like you when you start with something like Source Engine or Gold Source, like you're starting from like a canvas that already has like a third of the paint applied, whereas Unity is not that. So as like Ben was saying, as the tools become easier and easier to use, there's just no reason to start from a mod.
I think there will still be I think there'll be more mods for games than there ever will be. They just won't be like original IP spawning off of mods, kind of like
that's what I meant.
Everything. I think like people modding games will be more prevalent than ever.
Like
and
you're
potentially
gonna have
could
mods
go to
forever.
its own thing. But
yeah, people are always going to make mods, like for sure, no doubt about that.
Nexus mods is probably like 10 times the size of whatever mod distributor there was before.
Yeah, and not even to be like not even like a free camera mod, but like literally like new content mods and extensions and alternate universes and all that stuff. Like I think that's like as booming as ever. It's just not original ideas in these existing engines for the reasons that you guys said.
And it's always going to be contingent on how like robust the actual tools are, because like the thing with like Gold Source and Source Engine is that the tools were like easy to use relative to what was available at the time. But like if if Larian just like gave WotC the middle finger and just like released these super robust, super easy tools for modding Baldur's Gate 3 where people could like create their own custom campaigns and like do all sorts of crazy shit within the Baldur's Gate 3 engines, then you can bet your bottom fucking dollar that there would be like hundreds of mods being released for that game over the next couple of years.
I mean, there still are like quite a bit of like crazy ones that are coming too, right? Even without those ridiculous tools. But to your point, if they made it so that it was easy to do, then you're kind of like knocking people out of a job, basically.
It's just all about how easy and approachable those tools are. Because like these three guys made it in Skyrim because again that canvas was already semi-painted for them. So
exactly, and that's the same reason why all the Warcraft remaps and kind of everything that you guys mentioned, because it was just so easy to make versus having to be like, what's a programming language?
Yeah, how do I manage memory? What the fuck is C++?
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like the best future for modding is going to be games like Mario Maker, like things that offer what you guys said with really, really good tools that like just make it so you can make more content for the game that already exists.
I mean, unfortunately, the two best games of that right now are Roblox and Fortnite. So
no,
that exists now, and they're very easy to use, and they're
very popular,
very crazy environments.
I guess that's like a really good point. Like, have there been any like standalone games that spawned from something like Roblox or Minecraft? Especially,
I don't think you can with Roblox, because I think if you make it in Roblox, it's the property of Roblox.
I think that's the same thing with Minecraft. I think there has been for Minecraft, but I don't.
Baton Brutal.
That started in Minecraft?
Yeah, that was a Minecraft. That was it's based on Minecraft jump maps.
I see.
So he just mimicked Minecraft physics and then made it into a standalone game.
Yeah, that was the weird thing I was like kind of delineating is like there's a lot of games that are very clearly inspired by Minecraft that aren't Minecraft, but maybe fall under this category. I don't know.
Dude,
Minecraft would make more sense, but I think literally in Roblox and with like StarCraft and everything, right? Like the reason why people don't make StarCraft 2 arcade maps anymore, because Blizzard owns it if you make it in there. So
I can't believe that shit's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why you need to stay in there. You need to stay in that, either you stay in the Roblox environment or you don't go there at all, because you lose the IP when you go into an environment like that now, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's like in shitification, right?
It's like it's not victim blaming, but it feels like victim blaming. It's like you're like there's a phrase for this, like just shitting on the people that helped raise you up. Like Warcraft 3 is one of the biggest games ever because of all of the modding shit that was made for that game, and then they do that. God, I hate that I play WoW.
That's funny.
All right, you guys want to do ratings?
Yeah, sure.
Sounds good.
Thomas, you decide the order. We're getting chaotic.
Bottom
to pick the order is hilarious.
bottom to top. Ben, Seth, Jordan, me.
All right. I have a feeling that I might have the highest rating. It is a 9.5 out of 10.
Jesus,
it is very much a.
That's wild.
It's very much like a greater than the sum of its parts kind of deal, because like, as we've already like discussed ad nauseum, there's a lot of things to to dislike about this game, but for some reason, like the overall package just really like appealed to me in like a really like immersive way, I guess. Like I really got into it. I felt similarly with Paradise Killer, where I just like it felt fun to play by the rules of the world, and I don't know, I just really enjoyed it.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm glad you had such a good experience that you did.
Yeah. Clearly, none of us expected that, so that's awesome.
That's dope.
As for me, this game definitely was not as good on a second playthrough. Time loop games, I think, or at least time loop puzzle games, Majora's Mask is something that would be accepted from this, are just games that are really hard to like recreate that feeling of the first time you played them. Like even something like Obra Dinn, you can kind of forget a lot of solutions for that game. Same with like La Mulana. You can I don't know if you guys are in the same boat as me with that one, but like I forget about a lot of puzzles in that game, and I can replay it because of that. But this game, I don't know. As I started playing it and I remembered stuff, a lot of the experience felt like more of a chore to do the thing rather than like actually enjoying my experience for the game that it was. But that's not totally fair because I played this game before. In my first experience, I probably would have rated this game like an 8.5 or a 9. It would have been up there with like some of my favorite games because I just think that the Groundhog's Day concepts, the themes you can explore in this game, especially with the golden rule, are all super robust. At least in terms of just like your surface level experience playing it, even if it doesn't go particularly deep with those things. And this game was a Skyrim mod made by 3 people, and I think it's pretty cool that they made what they made. So I'm still just going to give it a 7.
Yeah, we all overshot.
Yeah, that's funny. Because motherfucker played twice, he changed his fucking opinion, son of a bitch.
I mean, it was like a lot of stuff that I felt in my first playthrough, but just stood out to me as much more annoying this time. Like the Galerius waiting thing, or like waiting for Sentius to make the portal. That stuff was just really, really annoying. Even though I think that
Sure.
this is a good game, I might be going a little bit low with the 7, but I don't know. There's some flaws in there. I think a lot of the art assets are what's really bringing it down for me, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, to piggyback off of what you said, instead of just rehashing what we said, I think it's kind of, this is probably one of like the worst games to ever like replay. I don't think that you're going to get anything off a second playthrough. I think you're only going to notice the flaws more because you're not trying to like figure out, because I think a lot of the wonder of the game is kind of like the appeal, and like as I mentioned, like the hook and everything. So I think when that's gone and you're just like, let's play the game, unlike Oberdin where like cool things happen or you can like be like, oh yeah, this was sweet, instead it's just like, this is stupid, this is stupid, this is stupid. So first play recommended, second play definitely not recommended. And then for me, yeah, I think it's pretty good. No issues. I think the wonder's great, and then so for me it's a 7 out of 10.
Nice. Finally, some points.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's interesting because like there's like media that I have learned to just avoid as the years have gone by, because every time, okay, like the very specific example in my mind as I'm saying this is The Dark Knight. First time I saw The Dark Knight, I was at the midnight show when the movie came out. I thought it was like one of the greatest things I'd ever seen. It was like in my top 10 movies of all time. I was like 17 or something when that movie came out. And then I watched it again and I was like, there's a lot of fat in this movie. Like they could have chopped so much of like the last third of this movie out, and like my opinion of it went down. And then I watched it again and it was like, the actual like Christian Bale's performance is kind of corny, and again the editing issues, like this movie's too long. So I was like, I'm just never gonna watch this movie again. I'm just gonna live with like the feeling I had when I first watched it, and I really liked it, because what's the point of watching something that every time I watch it I just hate it a little more? And this is definitely a game I could see being like that, along with Outer Wilds. Well, less so Outer Wilds. I think the problem
Outer
with
Wilds is weird. Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with Outer Wilds is you just immediately know what to do, so like you circumvent having to even play the game.
Yeah, like Outer Wilds would be much more annoying if it's like, I just want to see the ending again, and you have to do like 10,000 steps to actually get there, which is what you have to do in this game.
Right.
All right, well, I guess I'll go. I
but
really
you were
wanted to
going.
like this game. I really wanted to like this game. No, I was responding to your shit.
Yeah.
But I just could not. I could not bring myself to like this game. I just couldn't. Like most things about it, from both a gameplay and a design perspective, were just so maddeningly fucking bland. The high concept of this game feels like a really strong framework that should have worked really well, but I was just so bored running between loop to loop, checking each citizen to exhaust all the dialogue options, and it didn't really feel like it was a puzzle to solve as much as I just felt like I was stuck in a fucking really boring work project. It's like I wake up, I start the loop, I talk to the same few people that are involved in the project. Sometimes they have some new shit to say that moves the needle, and sometimes they don't. Rinse and repeat until I'm done with the fucking game. And the writing, which I have heard lorded about with this game so much, like it won some fucking award, like the Writers Guild of America or some fucking shit. Um, but I thought it was dreadful. Like this is a game that so desperately wanted to have something to say, but it just doesn't. And like as we kind of discussed at length already, like what are the revelations here? Like that cultural morality evolves over time, that war crimes are bad, that religion is like a Katamari ball that continually builds on the previous iteration. Like what is interesting or profound about any of these thoughts? The writing to me was just an ethics 101 class told through a bunch of one sentence Reddit posts or Twitter reply threads, as mentioned earlier. None of the characters evolve or really become altogether that interesting, even after we meet them again in the museum. Like the politician's still a politician, the tailor's still a tailor, the again, like I mentioned earlier, the shyster shopkeeper's still a shyster shopkeeper, like so on and so forth. Like no one changes, everyone just doubles down on who they were. So I don't understand what's to love about the writing in this game because it's not profound, it's not interesting. It has a really interesting hook, but it doesn't do anything or go anywhere with that hook. So it's just really frustrating because this game so clearly, at least insofar as the dialogue writ large about this game on the internet is concerned, it hides behind that like mod to standalone success story to excuse what it is at its core, which is a clunky mid experience with zero mechanical depth. It forcing me to wait for Galerius to physically run across the map like it's still fucking 2011 is asinine. The camera shifting on character portraits is just a Skyrim relic, one of many in this game that should have stayed in the past. And I'm honestly just confused by the rave reviews I've read for this game because if you strip away the high concept gimmick, you're just left with this tedious checklist of dialogue trees and a narrative that mistakes common sense for brilliance. This shit ain't a mystery, it's just a fucking chore. It's a 4 out of 10.
Damn.
I way overshot.
I was
And one
way
thing I will
off.
say is that, like, after having talked about it with you guys, I'm never gonna play this game again.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't.
Just no.
Yeah, it's not one you need to for sure.
I'm just gonna leave it as a 9.5 in my mind, and it'll just stay there.
As it should. Yeah, you shouldn't play it again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I
and,
said,
like-
that's the Dark Knight.
It really is like a core issue with this game because again, like you can replay Oberdin and it has more of that. Like I know you haven't played these games, but it has more of that. Like you feel like a detective. You have a job to do. Like it feels good to do what you're doing, and I think that would work on a second playthrough. And Outer Wilds, it's just literally not possible to do another playthrough of that game. I don't think so. This game lives in this unique space where a second playthrough is just not enjoyable.
Yeah, well, for me, the first playthrough wasn't enjoyable. You know, I had expected this game to be the new highest standard deviation between the four of us, but I forgot about the fucking magnificent polarizing experience that was Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh right. I thought it was Baldur's
Yeah, that's
Gate
still-
before you said that.
That
wasn't that far.
Interestingly enough, scrolling through this really quick, so the standard deviation between our reviews for Tears of the Kingdom was 2.77. I would have thought Forgotten City was number 2 at 1.95, but number 2 is actually 2.3. And without cheating, or if you already have the list up, don't look. What game do you think it was?
It's either off or it's Fate Stay Night. I think it's Fate Stay Night.
I cheated and found it before you even started saying that, so
I
can't say it.
I just looked at the scores for this game and I don't understand how this was calculated. I feel like something in the math that I coded is wrong because it's Signalis.
Oh, that's hilarious. What the hell?
Yeah, because
No.
Ben hated Signalis. Or no, was it Ben?
It was Ben.
Yeah, the math.
Yeah.
The math works.
The math, aka the facts, was on my side, and it just weighted me stronger.
No, I think the math works. I'd have to look at the scores, but in my brain it feels like it works.
We were all like 8.5 to 9.5, and then Ben was a 4.
But Seth was also a 10, so we were pulled down from him. So I think it's because Seth was above me and you, and then Ben
Yeah.
was below so much of us. I think it makes sense.
Mm.
I think it
Yeah.
just feels
Wait.
like it shouldn't.
Wait, Fate Stay Night is still the second highest, right? It's 2.51.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I skipped right over that. You're right.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
holy
that's
moly.
a funny one.
Signalis is higher than I thought.
I don't
though.
think anything's going to beat Tears of the Kingdom. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
That's
that
crazy.
shit was crazy.
That really is like night and day. Like we just got to do more AAA slop to really see
I
that
was
stuff, I
thinking,
guess.
I was thinking literally today. I was like, "Am I gonna play GTA 6?" Because I was like, I mean, it's gonna
Oh
be such a
God.
phenomenon. I feel like I kind of like have to play
Yeah.
it.
I mean, that's the thing, right?
Uh,
Like, it's going to be such like a fucking cultural pressure
Yeah.
vector that it's going to
It's
be hard
been
to not play it.
it's been 13 years. It's like the
I'm-
same gap between when GTA 2 and GTA 5 came out.
And I mean, I've
So
said
here's
this
the-
Fucking Song of
I've,
Ice and
s-
Fire.
I've said this before, right? Where it feels like almost every time a new GTA game comes out, it like reshapes the entire landscape of like popular video games. So
I
I
feel like
would not expect anything different from this one.
Mhm.
this is the first time where I think I'm just gonna wait till I can pirate it though. It's gonna. I don't know.
If it launches at 80, I'm not buying it.
And
You're not
motherfuckers
buying
talking
it.
about it launching at
It's
100.
gonna be $100, dude.
Yeah,
You're
and-
not
Hell
buying
no.
shit.
Another
Not
reason
happening.
why I feel like I'm probably gonna end up pirating it is because it's doing like the staggered release where it's consoles first. So
Oh
like
right.
GTA 5 was
I didn't even know
different,
that.
like it
What
was
the
a little
fuck?
more novel back then. But like we know that it's just gonna be a really
Well,
good looking GTA game, and it's just
no-
like I don't want to pay $100 for that, honestly.
Yep, Ben converted me. I forgot about the staggered release. I'm not buying it. Fuck it.
I have
Yeah.
a feeling I would need to upgrade my computer for it too, and yeah, I
True.
can't do that.
Yeah, especially not now. Where fucking RAM's $600.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was a staggered release. Yeah, unless the reviews come out from like not IGN and shit that are just like, "Oh my god, this game is going to solve world hunger," then yeah, I'm just
I
going to
still won't believe
skip
it. After some of the games that I've seen reviewed that high, I don't believe anything anymore.
All right, well, quick outro. That was Forgotten City. Who picked the next game we're doing?
Oh,
Benjamin.
I kind of did. It was more of a Jordan suggestion
Oh
because
well, yeah.
it's an
Well, no. That's
intermezzo.
Tom. It wasn't me.
Oh, what really? I thought okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, is
Yeah,
Tom.
I
That's
just
not
picked
me.
the intermezzo game.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Ah.
yeah, the intermezzo game that we're playing is Ooh. I didn't know anything about it, and it's the next game. It's a puzzle game, and that's about it. It's actually really unique, and that's all I'll say about it. I don't want to like say too much about it because like obviously we have to do the episode about it, but I will say that it is a very unique puzzler. Although I might think that
Mhm.
every puzzle game is unique because I don't normally
Yeah.
play puzzle games.
Spoiler alert, that game is going to have more than double the score I gave for this game.
Jesus.
I like
Well,
that
that
game a
is
lot.
that's our intermezzo game. But yeah, we'll be playing Control the week after that, so that's big hype. I fucking love that game. I'm glad you
Yeah.
picked it. Oh man,
I'm going to start that shit tomorrow.
It's actually funny.
Hell yeah.
The reason why I chose it is because we watched the Control Resonant trailer in the Game Awards, but all it did was make me excited to play the first Control, and don't really care about the sequel. And the reason why is because th- this is like the minorest. Well, it's actually kind of a significant spoiler, but I don't want to play the new game because I don't like the way the main character in that game looks.
yeah. Meanwhile,
Jesus Christ.
I think Jesse Faden looks great as a character.
Yeah,
He's
I
fucking-
like Jessie a lot, and when I saw that you don't play as her, but you play as, I, I'm not. You play as a dude. I'll say that. I don't want to spoil it, but you play as a dude. And when I saw the dude, I was like, I don't like the way he looks.
All right. Well, that's the episode. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Adios, muchachos.